Good evening, everybody. So I'm here with Sharon, and we're talking about anxiety. So the reason we chose this topic is because we both have had anxiety in the past, with a diagnosis. So, fairly serious stuff. And we decided to talk about that because we feel that we're not anxious anymore. So we'll talk about that. So
That
here's
sounds good.
Sharon.
So we swapped this evening. I just put Louise on the spot and said, right, you can start this evening. So well done. That was
Thank
good.
you. Yes.
So yeah, so we've titled this We Used to Be Anxious because we did, didn't we?
Yes.
And like you said, we both had formal diagnoses.
Mm,
And I suppose I shouldn't really be flippant about that because it's pretty miserable when you're living with anxiety. But it's kind of hard to look at it seriously now. Do you know
it
what I
is.
mean?
Yes, I do.
And I really don't want to take anything away from people who are struggling, but just even saying I have anxiety doesn't make sense to me anymore.
Not anymore. No. No. And it's a massive label that's bandied about. And what makes me angry is that it's a label that's given to young people very regularly. I worked with a young lady in a senior school, and she, I think, was being tested potentially for ADHD, and her GP told her, if you have ADHD with girls, they usually have anxiety as well. So she said, so I'm anxious. I said, are you? Well, that's what the GP said. I was horrified by that.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a similar thing, working with young people, really young, because I worked with the iHeart program in schools in the curriculum, and we were working with years 5 and 6, the last 2 years. So we're talking, I don't know, 9, 10, even younger
Yeah,
actually, because I have worked with some 8-year-olds, and I had a little girl who um her mum contacted me because she was really worried, and her mum was saying my daughter has anxiety.
yeah.
So she was reinforcing it, obviously, because that's what she'd been
Mm,
told. And I worked with a little girl, and she came here. She's and sat in this office, and we worked together.
mm.
And she said, she really believed she had a thing, like,
Yes,
you know, it was a thing,
yes,
anxiety, a thing. And we talked about that, and I said, so what does it look like? This thing. And of
yes,
course, it's when you ask somebody that, it's kind of hard to describe it. But she had physical symptoms. She would feel sick, and it was about school. It was about going to school. She was
yes.
struggling with things at school. So, and she would actually be sick too some days. She would get so worked up. So you can kind of understand why that looks like a
Mm.
a thing, you know.
Yes, yes,
Um, but I mean, we worked through it, and as we're going to talk about, and eventually, I think, honestly, I'm not sure that she understood exactly what I was talking about, but she did stop
yeah.
having problems and started going to school.
Wow. Yeah. Great,
So
great.
it's it it's so interesting, isn't it, this conversation, because just talking with someone is it's almost, there's not really an application, but there is an implication of something that makes sense when you hear it, when someone's talking to you, that kind of lands and makes sense, and even
Yes,
if you can't articulate it.
yes. And clearly something landed for her that it changed everything. Um, So with obviously anxiety, there are those physiological issues, which are, linked to the fight, flight, freeze. We are supposed to have that. We're built to have that. It's
Yeah.
just that we're not built to have it 24/7.
No.
So, and that's the thing, is that when people are told they are anxious and it seems like a thing, what they can't see is that they're not anxious all the time, unless they think about it so much that then it is a 24/7 thing, which is really sad because it doesn't need to be like that. And the physiological, you know, part of it is really horrible. It's scary,
Yeah.
uh, palpitations, you think, am I having a heart attack? You don't know what's going on in your body. Um, Dry mouth, people can literally shake.
Mm.
Absolutely. People who can be terrified by it. So,
Yeah.
and I think when people are very, very anxious, th- they almost can't hear what other people are
Mm.
saying to them about it. Do you
Yeah.
find?
Yeah. Well, that was my experience actually,
Mm,
because I was already diagnosed with clinical depression. And I'd been on medication for a long time. And I had a particularly bad patch, and I was having some extra help, kind of counseling. And I remember talking to a lovely lady about, what was going on for me. And I was talking about how I woke up every morning in this anxiety, anxious. I didn't actually use that word. I said I
mm.
wake up in the morning and I'm terrified, like already. And we were talking about it, and she suddenly went, "Oh my goodness, you've got anxiety." You know, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And
Yeah.
that's it was some time ago, but that's when I got my general anxiety disorder
Mm.
diagnosis.
Diagnosis.
So I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, okay, so I'm not only am I clinically depressed, I also have this, it's an added."
Yes.
So of course, and like you say, it was very, it was a physical feeling. And so I did what was suggested and took some more meds, to be honest,
Mm.
and and
Yeah.
and carried them around for uh, decades in my
Yes.
handbag, like
Yeah.
like a security thing, so that if I thought I might have an attack, that I could take, what it was that they prescribed, kind of thing.
Wow.
And it really did seem like a thing that I
Yeah.
had, an added.
And
Uh,
did they help? Did they actually help?
they zoned me out. I mean, it was.
Mm.
Well, I don't want to talk about drugs and things, but yeah, they just kind of zonked me
Numbed
out,
you.
really. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I wasn't supposed to drive or anything when I took them.
Wow.
But and that kind of carried on for years, and I never. Something you just said. Nobody ever pointed out to me that I wasn't anxious all the time.
Mm.
Nobody. Nobody.
No.
Until I came across this understanding and the three principles.
Yes. Because I was going to ask you, when you say, if we roll back a bit, and you said that you have had anxiety in the morning and that you were terrified before the day even started,
Mm.
did they, what were you terrified of? Can you remember?
Not, no.
Was it specific things or?
Yes, it was things. But it was very generalized.
Mm.
It was the future. It was being alone. It was not having money. All kind of what ifs.
Yes.
And
Okay.
I had very. I didn't put the two together, but I didn't sleep well either.
Mm.
So Um, and of course, our system doesn't shut down at night, does it?
No.
It kind of keeps going. So
Yeah.
I think that that flavor was just there,
Yeah.
when I say flavor, I mean the kind of quality of my thinking was all around that.
Mm. Yeah.
But when I woke up, it would it would it would be there as I was waking. And then what would happen? I would attach it to a thing.
Yes.
So I would think, oh my God, I'm feeling anxious because this might happen, or that's going to happen, or
Yeah.
or that happened last week and I'm in trouble for it. I would make meaning of it.
Yes. Yes.
And then I would believe the story I made up about the attachment, what I'd attached it to, if that makes sense. So
Yes.
so
Yeah.
I would then get more anxious because
Yeah.
I thought my anxiety was giving me information about the thing I'd attached it to.
Right. And you thought it was true.
Yeah, so if I was if I was I don't know, if I had something, let's say I had an interview or something, or something in the future, something that was meant a big deal, I would then wake up feeling anxious and I'd think, oh God, I'm it means that I'm going to do badly
Mm.
at the interview, or
Yes.
shouldn't,
Yeah.
why am I going for this? I'm an idiot, I shouldn't be doing it, or something like that. So I would
Right.
attach
Right.
all this meaning to the anxiety, which would be like, it's like putting logs on a fire, on an
Yes.
anxious fire,
Yes. And it builds and
and it
builds.
builds and builds and builds.
Yeah.
And you just think the more anxious you got, the more true the story you've attached to it is.
Yeah. That's crazy because, like you say, now that we've learnt this way of looking at how the mind works, we can see that it's normal, completely normal to be anxious, especially about, I don't know, a job interview or something. And that, but that we are projecting into the future and, and we don't know what's going to happen at all. It's a complete guess. We're making it up.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
But
But that's normal.
and the other thing, I mean, the thing that changed everything for me was when I understood the system, how you know, thinking, whatever, if you think anxious thoughts,
Yeah.
you will feel anxious.
Yeah.
And that I I think I thought it was the other way around,
Yeah.
that the feeling came first and then I'd think about the feeling.
Right. Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
most people think that. And in fact, I was talking to somebody literally a couple of days ago who was completely gobsmacked when I said, no, actually, it's the other way around,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
And I remember like, oh, and then it makes complete sense because like if you ask me to, I could make myself cry now. I could make myself feel really sad by thinking about
Yeah.
something in my life that was sad, like losing my mum, let's say.
Yes.
I could go back there in my mind and I could dig up memories of everything, and I could, it would make me feel sad, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And we
Yeah.
know that.
Yes.
We do know that, I think.
Yeah. We
Because
do know that.
but we nobody's really pointed at it and going, can you not see that's what's happening?
Yeah. That's what's happening for the future as well. Is,
Yes.
we can,
Yeah, so we can imagine
yeah.
something in the future that is
Yeah.
scary
Yeah.
and start thinking
Mm.
insecure thoughts about it and start feeling really insecure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And when you see how that works, for me anyway, it and also um that the thoughts keep coming, don't they? They come and they go and they go. It's just like da, 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 da. You know, it's like a
Yes.
and
Conveyor
sometimes
belt.
but sometimes we're not aware of what's rumbling along underneath. Although we even have little sayings like people will say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in such a mood. I've got a lot on my mind." So
Yeah.
people we say that.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
We don't really understand that that's true. You know, and you can have something, can't you, on your mind that you're
Yeah.
not actively, consciously thinking about. You know, you're not, but it's just you're not letting it go. So it's,
Mm.
or it keeps coming back and it keeps coming back, and it kind of flavors everything else.
So for example, my son was going to visit some friends or new friends, meet some new people this morning, and he was saying, "Oh, I feel so nervous." And he was eating, and he said, "Oh, I feel sick. I feel so nervous." And we've often had these conversations where, isn't it interesting that is it nervous? Is it or is it excitement?
Yeah,
They're quite similar, really. And I think if you let your thoughts run away with you into it's anxious, you really could say, oh, these are the symptoms of anxiety. And I
yeah,
feel sick, I feel nauseous, I can't eat, I feel fidgety. You could sort of almost build that up into a big anxiety thing, where actually you were kind of a bit excited.
yeah. And the thing is, again, the 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 label we put on the sensation. So, because that's what it is. A feeling is
Yeah,
sensation in your body, isn't it?
yes,
So we then label it anxiety or excitement depending on the story we've attached to it.
yes,
So, and of course, some feelings we want to have, excitement,
mm,
and some feelings, anxiety, we don't want to have because they're
yeah,
labeled bad
yeah,
and good. But what if they're all neutral and there's no good or bad?
yeah. Because actually, what it's saying is, um, I'm not balanced. I'm unbalanced
Mm,
because I'm not being, yeah, like you say, neutral, because I've sort of come away from myself, which is calm, collected, confident, all those innate things that everybody has.
yeah,
We're kind of veering away from that. And so actually it's a sign to say, okay, come back to center.
yeah.
Mm.
And that's what's so amazing is we're actually really perfectly designed to feel all those feelings. Feelings can't really hurt you in a physical sense. I know it's not nice if you're throwing up and
Yeah.
having a panic attack or that, but a feeling can't really hurt you. The design is just so amazing. We can
Mm.
feel them and then they're like the alarm going off, going bleep bleep, you're
Yeah,
off
yeah,
track.
yeah,
It's
you're
like
off
going,
track.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So the more extreme feeling, and that's positive feelings too. It's
Yes.
not just good, bad, negative. It's
Yeah.
as soon as you come, any extreme feelings are really just the design. It's like a little light going off on the dashboard, with a bleeper
Yeah.
going, oi.
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
don't trust what you're thinking because it's
yeah.
probably taking you down
Yes.
my story I use. Um, I haven't got one of these because my car's not very new. But like in modern cars have a reversing alarm.
Yes.
And you're parallel parking and you're backing in and you're getting close to that car, and it's the
Yeah.
beeper. It gets louder, doesn't it? It gets more
Yes.
intense and faster, and it's like bleep 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 bleep, bleep, bleep.
Yeah.
And I say to people, when you hear that, what do you do? And most
Stop.
people say, well, I slow down or I stop. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. Because if you carry on, you're just gonna hit the wall.
Yeah.
And and that's what our system is doing. And if it's just saying, hey, whoa,
Yeah.
slow down a minute,
Slow down.
press pause.
Yeah. Press pause. Exactly. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. And anxiety is just the same as it's just we've turned it into a we've turned it into a thing.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
but you can't go to your local shop and buy it.
No. No.
I'd like some anxiety, please.
Yeah. That's interesting. I did an audio recording on Insight Timer called The Art of Anxiety,
Okay.
and where I sort of put three scenarios in there, teaching people how to become anxious.
Okay.
And again, that sounds very flippant, but it's true. You start from nothing and you have a thought, then you have another thought, and then you entertain those and you build them up and you build them up, and you have created anxiety. It's
Yeah.
incredible, incredible how it works. And if you can just see that, oh yeah, I'm creating that, it takes a big load off, really.
Yeah.
Um, and it is difficult for people that are very, very, very anxious and have lots of physiological symptoms, and it's scary, really. People are frightened, and then their world again becomes smaller and smaller because they don't want to do anything that will trigger this anxiety or that anxiety or
Well, you become anxious about being anxious.
yeah, you do.
Just a
Yeah,
complete, yeah, your world just shrinks, doesn't it? And
does, yeah.
you're completely, and
Vicious cycle.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
And
this for someone to just like us standing here or sitting here rather talking and saying, all you've got to do is press pause, might sound, it might sound a bit hard to take for some people, and I get that, and I don't, I don't mean it to sound
mm,
flippant or anything, but and it takes a while too.
yeah,
It's not that, but when you see something new like this, what is so incredible as well about the marvelous, our incredible human design is that even without completely understanding what's going on, when you see something new about it, your natural kind of essential okay nature, the human spirit, it's just it's just waiting to burst through, isn't it? It's like the
yeah,
sun just waiting to come through the clouds.
exactly. Yeah, it's just there, ready.
Yeah, and
Mm, mm,
I think the biggest help, if I had to give a tip, the biggest thing I would say helped me was noticing that I wasn't anxious all the time
yes, yeah,
and focusing on that,
that's it. Yeah, that's huge. Yes,
and then thinking, hang on a minute.
yeah. Because everybody has it. I mean, I visit people in the community and they list anxiety as one of the medical conditions they have.
Yeah,
Um, but obviously within their own home, there's no sign of it
yeah,
whatsoever because obviously they are comfortable in their own home. But actually, if you remove that person and put them in a shop, for example, it's the same person. Not really, nothing inside has changed. It's just that you're in a different
Mm.
place or circumstance. So actually nothing has changed. And that's sort of difficult for people to see that is wherever I am, that's, here we are. I'm just
And the
me.
anxiety, I haven't got it, but I saw something today. In fact, I was shared it with a client today. N- Often, I won't say always because I'm not sure, but very often, if you're feeling anxious, it's because your thinking has gone to the future.
Yes.
If you're feeling depressed, it's because your thinking has gone to the past.
Past. Yeah.
And
I've heard that.
there's a saying somewhere,
Yeah.
and I know for me, I did both of those things, hence the
Yeah.
depression,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
diagnosis, and the anxiety was, you know, I got to the point where I was convinced that I was going to die alone, penniless,
Yeah.
living under a motorway bridge or something. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And
Because that's where
yeah,
your mind had
and
taken you. Yes.
because I wasn't present, I wasn't,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I have a note about my above my computer. I'm going to unpin it because I can pin it back because I need reminding sometimes. You probably can't read. Can you read that?
Yeah. It's not happening now. Yeah.
Yeah, because we do allow our mind to kind of it goes out of our, takes us away from our body. We can be present in
Mm.
physical, but we're over there. And horses have taught me that because horses do the same.
So there.
Yeah, I mean, they get stressed because they've they're thinking about, if you've taken them away from the herd and they haven't, their mind is with the herd.
Okay.
So they're not
Wow.
present, they're not in their
Right.
body. And so
Okay.
you have to kind of you have to bring them back.
Wow.
And then you can connect, you can't connect with them when they're thinking about,
Okay.
running back to the yard, to the stable, because you've taken them for a ride on their own. So
Yeah.
it's it's that press pause button, that's all that does,
Mm.
is it brings you back to now.
Yeah. 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 Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And wherever you are, you have now.
Yeah,
Whatever you're doing, you have now.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's brilliant. And it's interesting because you had the morning anxiety thing. Um, I I would maybe wake up and think, oh, I don't want to go to work. But it wasn't a huge, thing. Mine is more of a nighttime thing, anxiety, where I'm projecting into the future, but I know I'm doing it now.
yeah,
Now I can see that I'm doing it, and it will be okay because I know that I've brought my boys up. They're sensible. They have their own wisdom.
yeah,
So although I'm worrying about this might happen or that might happen, or I'm just making that up. I don't know what's going to happen. And I think we've brought them up to be, they can make their own decisions and they do
yeah,
have their own wisdom.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I've forgotten what I was going to say now. Oh, I hate it when that happens. Oh, I know what I was going to say about waking up in the mornings. I do sometimes wake up in the morning with that a remnant of that feeling that I remember, that kind of anxiety, that feeling in me, and I'm like, oh, but the difference now is I'm like, oh, that's I wonder what that's about.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Because I
an
don't
old,
actually know what it's about, and it's probably
no,
I've been dreaming about something or
maybe. Yeah.
I don't know, but the difference now is that I'm just a bit curious about it. I'm like,
Yes.
oh,
Yeah.
and whereas, you know, years ago I would have gone, oh my God, oh, oh, it's back. I'm
Yeah.
anxious.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
logs on the anxiety fire, and it
Yeah.
would be roaring. But
Yeah.
and I'd be. I mean, I seriously would. I had times where I worked myself up into a complete kind of unable to, you know,
Yeah.
come out from
function.
under the duvet
Yeah, 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 yeah,
because and it was like it was horrible. It was
yeah,
really horrible.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but I mean, I can honestly say that I haven't had that since then. I
Mm.
just, yeah, it's
I think yes, I can see like you just said, I can see now that it's not real, and I am doing it to myself, and I don't need to do that. And a lot of time I recognize it as like a habitual thing, like an old pattern that I used to do. So it's definitely changed. I won't say it's completely gone away, but it's like a much, much, much lesser degree than
yeah,
I ever had before. And so now I'm not scared of it because I just think, ah, it's rubbish.
yeah.
Okay, I might be thinking about something in the future but actually I'm going to park that because I can talk to whoever about it. I don't need to worry about it now.
And the beauty of, I mean, there's no getting away from the fact that today, times are complicated. There's a lot of
Yes,
things going on for people. People are juggling, all sorts of challenges.
yes.
Kids, cost of living, all these things that are constantly, just put the news on and let's go under the duvet kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So there is a lot, and I can see why people, why it looks like there's a lot to be anxious about.
Yes.
The thing is, though, when that fire's raging, that
Mm,
anxiety, when you've built that up so much, you're less uh, able to deal with challenges that come along because
mm,
you've got no clarity, you've got no space in your head for, you know, for your wisdom or for new thought or for new ideas. You're so consumed by that,
yeah. Yeah.
you know, that thinking, that anxious thought sort of storm that there's no
Yeah.
room for anything else. So
No.
uh, and it creates problems that aren't there.
Mm. I think it's really interesting that um, a lot of anxious people that I've spoken to, I ask them, how do you relax? And a lot of the time they say, well, I don't, I
Yeah,
can't relax. And I say, have you tried music? Have you tried
yeah,
listening to, yeah, I've tried that. They're quite determined in some people are quite determined in their being anxious. And I don't know if this sounds weird. Sometimes people get, that label of anxiety, and then they almost use it like an armor,
mm,
and actually they invite it to stay, and then they use it, and this is why I can't do this. This is why I can't do that. Oh, there's no point in me trying that. They almost use it to bat
yeah,
off like everything. So it's although with obviously the three principles, there is not a doing, it's a more of a releasing. Sometimes I think with very anxious people, we do have to sort of encourage a doing, which is
yeah,
try to come up with a plan where you're not watching the news, you're not, you know, sort of having people around you that you might feel are a bit toxic,
yeah.
or, having those sorts of
Really what it, yeah,
conversations, yeah, that make you
yeah,
feel anxious.
yeah,
Perhaps don't invite them around as
yeah.
much.
And particularly, I mean, the worst time to watch the news is just before you go to bed.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
The 10 o'clock, or I mean,
yeah,
if you want to catch up, then do it first thing in the morning and then get on with the day because you will,
yeah,
you know, it goes out of your mind because you've got your own
yeah.
life to live. But
I mean, also, I
what,
do. Sorry.
late night news and then go to bed with all that on your mind.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not helpful, is it,
I
really?
yeah. I don't watch the news. I think if I need to find out about something, I'll look it up. But I just feel that it's so negative that it keeps people anxious. And so it's almost like there's an agenda to do that, and I'm not interested in that, so I don't watch it. If there's something that is going to affect my job or my family or my the way we live, then yes, I'll sort of look into that. But actually, I don't need to watch all the other. It's just noise.
Mm.
I don't need that noise in my head. You know, it just creates more anxious thinking. I think.
I think.
Yes.
And no matter how hard we try, we can't stop doing that.
No, no, we can't. You can't stop your thoughts, but you can let them go and you can, like I say, not encourage things around you that are going to make it worse.
Yeah,
Just avoid those things, even if it's
yeah,
one day a week,
yeah.
just
I mean, it must be very tempting, mustn't it? If I know what you mean about people kind of taking it on as an armor, kind of using it to then protect them from being able to do anything. So, but then, it's just your comfort zone reduces to nothing,
it
really.
does,
And
yeah. But
yeah,
if I said to you, okay, I understand that you're anxious, okay. However, we're going to be putting on a big family party and everybody's going to be there. It'll be fantastic. You'll see like cousins you haven't seen for years. It'll be absolutely brilliant. Um, Somebody might go to that and really enjoy it, and and then perhaps you can help them to see that. See, you're not anxious all the time because you've done that thing which is not in your comfort zone, but actually really enjoyed it.
mm,
Could you maybe see yourself do other things that you've
yeah.
stopped doing, you know? Hmm.
Hmm. I wonder if we've been helpful.
I wonder if we've been helpful. I hope we have.
We've had a good old chatter about it.
Yes.
So I think we should. I have no idea how long we've been chatting. We're going to have to put a timer on things, but we've
At least
probably said,
maybe 40 minutes. That's not too
yeah,
bad.
that's not
Yeah.
too bad.
Yeah.
So how should we? What's a really nice way of rounding it up that would be helpful to anyone listening?
I think that, like we've said before with other subjects, if you could just notice, as soon as you start to feel anxious, just notice that you are feeling anxious and that I wonder what's made me think that, what thoughts am I having? I mean, we may not notice what thoughts we've had, but if we just notice that we're feeling anxious and recognize that that's my body's way of giving me a signal, and it's okay. It's okay to have that signal, and it's okay to have those feelings and nervousness and anxiety. It's actually how we're built.
Hmm.
So it's okay, and we can live with it and let go of the thoughts that are coming.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Well, mine's the other side of the coin, I think, which is what I said earlier, is notice that you're not anxious all the time
Yes.
and
Yeah.
and and focus on that, you
Mm.
know,
Yeah.
because and also the other little thing, just seeing as that's almost the same as what you said, except kind of the flip side, is to realize that um, a feeling, it can't really hurt you. It's just a sensation. And here's another one that came to me that I went, oh yeah, emotion. Somebody said to me the first time I heard someone say, yeah, emotion is E for energy, moving.
Yes.
So it's energy in motion moving through your body. It's just a sensation. And
Yes.
maybe, you know, excitement and anxiety, anticipation, all the labels that we stick on this energy moving,
Yeah.
you know, that it's very close, the feeling of
It
it.
is very close. Yeah. And it's okay and it will pass.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's okay not to be afraid of being anxious.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lovely. Yay. Lovely.
Well, anyone who's watching this, because we're going to, it's obviously recorded, and um, anyone watching this on replay, we would love, wouldn't we? We'd love some feedback.
We would.
We would love some questions
Yeah.
or confusions, even, or even if you think we're talking a load of old baloney,
Yes.
we'd like to know that too, wouldn't we?
We would. Yes.
So we're
We
we're we're open to whatever you want to throw at us,
we
honestly.
are. Yes.
Whether it's about anxiety or what have we spoken about? We've spoken about anxiety, chronic illness.
Yeah.
We started
Labels.
talking
Yeah.
about forgiveness, didn't we, in our first episode?
We did. Yeah.
So we haven't got a subject for our next fortnightly conversation, but we are going to hold it
We
and we
are.
will come up with something.
Come what may. So yeah, hopefully you can send in a topic.
Yeah, send it something, or maybe like something you're wrestling with that doesn't make
Yes.
sense, or that you're something in that's coming along that you're feeling, you know, emotion about.
Yes.
We'd love to have a look and maybe see if we can shine a light on something.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's a shout out from me and a shout out from Louise.
That's right.
We need a signing off like the two Ronnies.
We do.
It's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from yes.
Okay.
We do. We let's see if we can put you out of your agony.
Yes,
Yeah.
that would be good. So
Yeah.
thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.